This is Beyond Perception, where it's all about breaking out of limited perception, waking up to our true self, our creative genius, our human potential. I'm Simon Rilling and have the true honor to be here with Arjan Erkel as my guest today.
Yes, hi, Simon.
Born in the Netherlands, he studied cultural anthropology to then join Doctors Without Borders as humanitarian aid worker in conflict areas. He first worked in Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Sierra Leone, and then Russia, where his life dramatically changed. In 2002, he was kidnapped by Islamic rebels in Dagestan and kept hostage for almost 2 years. Since then, as an author, motivational speaker, coach, and entrepreneur, Arjan inspired thousands of people with his message about freedom and taking ownership of one's own life. Arjan is also the co-founder of Free a Girl, a foundation that is dedicated to freeing young girls from forced prostitution. Since 2008, Free a Girl has freed more than 4,750 girls globally. Welcome, Arjan. It's a true pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And you have this incredible life story, like hostage turned rescuer. And you are now helping and empowering like literally thousands of people around the world. Is that something you always had as a vision for your life when you joined Doctors Without Borders, or was it rather a result of maybe the traumatic challenge you had to overcome?
It was more a result of the traumatic challenge. But no, I started as a volunteer with Doctors Without Borders. No, I had a very good time. In 4 years, I became the director of Russia, so the biggest country in the world. And then, after my kidnapping, I didn't know what to do because I couldn't go back to Doctors Without Borders. I didn't want to work in very unsafe areas anymore. And then slowly, I started to give lectures. And then the message is about freedom of choice, freedom of development. And lots of people withhold themselves or take themselves hostage mentally in not achieving what they actually could achieve. And then I thought, that's a nice message. And then I heard about all the bad things happening to younger girls in India, in Bangladesh, but even in Holland. And then I thought, it's time to fight for those girls as well. They want to have their freedom. They want to have a new life. I was waiting for my release, and of course, they are also waiting for their release. So that's how it started in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's just a breathtaking story. And for those who are not familiar with your history or what you went through, would you mind leading us through your time in Russia, and then also how it turned out that you got kidnapped and what exactly happened there? Yeah,
of course. Just break through my story if it's too long, but because I can talk.
Okay.
I was taken kidnapped for 607 days. So to tell it in 1 hour or even less, it's always difficult for me what to tell and what not to tell. But I was working in Chechnya, Dagestan, which is in the southern part of Russia. And that time it was the end of the civil war between the Chechens and the Russians. And there were so many refugees and they didn't get the right help. So together with the Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, we worked there. We had a program to help the refugees. We knew it was dangerous because of the end of the war. There were still rebels. And of course, it was also difficult and dangerous because of kidnapping. In that area, for years already, humanitarian aid workers were kidnapped. And then, I always thought, they are not going to kidnap me, of course. But then on the 12th of August, our car was blocked. 3 guys stepped towards our car with guns in their hand. And in a flash second, I stepped out of the car to hand me over, actually. Like, okay, take me, don't shoot the driver. And then they beat me up completely. I was bleeding. I thought they were really killing me. I broke a finger, lots of blood already through my face. And then they put me in the car with a gun on my head here, gun on my chest. I don't know if you remember Pulp Fiction, where John Travolta by accident shoots someone in the car. That was really happening to me. I thought, oh my God, I hope they've seen that movie, because I was so scared. First time in my life, I was so worried about my life. I wanted to cry, wanted to beg, but I also knew it was really like a macho culture. So I didn't want to show like a soft person. So I was able to stay strong. So I told them, please I want to live. So I said, yeah, я жить хочу in Russian. I want to live. I didn't say please. And they said, okay, if you behave, we will behave. And that's how it started. That was the first day. Everything was taken away from me. And my fear of being cut, bleeding to death, of course, was there. The fear of never seeing my friends, my family, my mother, my father. The fear about my own self. Am I strong enough to stand up for myself mentally? Or do I turn into someone who says yes, yes, all the time and grow a beard and become a Muslim? These kind of worries. But also worries about, do they cut my fingers? Do they cut my ears? Will they rape me? So that was really difficult in the beginning.
So wow. So there was like literally there was no idea what will happen. That it was like it was not something which happened, and you knew that they would like ask for some money to like get you back or something.
When you're kidnapped, they want to have a ransom, but from the books or from the previous cases, we knew it was going to be a hard time, and one of the possibilities was that they would kill me for sure, or humiliate me or torture me, because that happened in the past. And I wanted to know if it's really a kidnapping. So I asked, how much are you going to ask? And they said $12 million. So that was really a huge amount, especially that time already, 2002. And then I said, it's way too much, because that was my reaction. I said, that's way too much, because I wanted to go home. And if they asked less, maybe my organization would pay. And then they said, how much are you worth then? So they asked me.
And that was just as, I mean, I apologize for laughing, but it's like you were like kind of in the beginning, you were negotiating like what they should ask for.
What do you say? Because do you say $10,000, but then maybe they cut your throat? You say 1 million. So I said, okay, 1 million. I didn't care. I wanted to go home. And they said, okay, we'll ask 5 million. So in 1 second, I dropped it 7 million. It was a good deal, no?
And then this is actually what they then asked for you?
At the end, they paid 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, but it took 20 months to negotiate. And in the meantime, it was, the first week was the most difficult week, because they said we didn't want to kidnap you yet. We don't have a house. We were just in the middle of the forest, so there was no house, there was no running water, there was no toilet. I couldn't wash myself. I had to go to the toilet with 2 men standing behind me, which was very humiliating. But also, if the police or the military will come, they will shoot me, because we were not safe in that area. So that was really scary, and also wondering how should I behave. For example, they asked, there were Muslim fighters, and then they asked, do you have homosexual friends? And radical Muslims don't like homosexual people. So what would you say, Simon?
Like if I had, I probably would not be truthful.
So one of a close friend of mine, he is a homosexual, but I also betrayed myself. I said, no, I don't know anyone. So this betraying yourself, it was really a bad feeling. And luckily they said, we want you to become also a Muslim. And I said, no, I'm never going to give up my background. I'm sorry I lied about you. I have a friend who is homosexual, and I don't care. And actually they didn't care. So it was more my fear than reality. Most times in life, our fear is because we put too much fear on ourselves. And that's what happened there as well. But of course, it's scary, because, if you give the wrong answer, your life might be at stake instead of your job or a good relationship with your neighbor. It was a bit different.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean, I say we, but here in our normal lives, we put so much importance to really irrelevant things, and we have this sense of our life might be threatened by this opinion or this decision or so. And even nothing really happens to us physically, but then we're I'm speaking from my own experience, you have the sense I need, or I speak about my experience of pleasing, or maybe not saying what I really think. And now I'm imagining your situation where it's completely different. What was this kind of why, or how did you realize screw it, I tell the truth, or like I won't like convert to.
Yeah, because I think that was because they took away everything, and at a certain moment you have to stand up for your own free will. I think because if people take away your own free will, then you're completely maybe even a slave, or maybe even someone who doesn't have a reason to exist. And so I think that was my borderline. I could agree that they kidnapped me. That was my risk. As long as they behave properly, I could even join the it's not a game, of course, but I could join the game. But this was really for me. If I give up my own freedom in my mind, then I'm lost. So that was, and from that moment on, I started to fight back. So and they didn't behave, of course, in the beginning. They didn't care how I felt. But then I said, yeah, you have to. For example, they never said please and here you are to me. So very impolite. So I said, yeah, please, can you use normal language to me, because I'm a normal person. They said, no, you don't belong to us. I said, yeah, but you can still talk normal in a friendly way. And then after 3 weeks, they started to say, here you are, here's your food, please. And I said, what do I hear? And yeah, so there is, I think, and Mr. Covey, the big management guru, already said, you always have influence and try to make your influence bigger. So I didn't know that at that time, but I know afterwards that it was really a good point what he said. It's true. Even in that very difficult situation, I had the chance to improve my life. I will show you a picture of my room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then people can also see how I live. And it was a really a shitty room like this. People even say, why do you call it a room? It's not like a room. And it was under the ground, because then we moved to a new group. And this group, they didn't have a room yet, but they dug a room for me in the ground. First, I thought it was my grave, because if you're kidnapped and people start digging holes, I was really worried so much, but I couldn't escape. But then after a week, they were ready, and this was it. So for 16 months, I lived in this one, between insects and mice, and really in bad days, it really was like a grave. But actually, I started to call it my room at the end, because I made it look better. I killed all the insects. I asked for candles. I put some nails in the wall so I could hang my clothes. So slowly, it took time. It took some courage, of course. I started to improve my situation together with them. Yeah.
And there was really this moment where you, like, I imagine, and like I'm asking you, that there is, like, additionally, there might be the sense of not really having a lot of control about anything, like in this situation. But then like when you made this like conscious choice, okay, whatever, like I still have the choice about, or control about my free will. Like if I like for example, influence the situation. So there was this, like, initially it was not like that, but then you kind of like
no, it was already in the car. It's of course, how do I behave? And do I beg? Do I cry? But then I thought it's better not to cry. So luckily my brain also was working, but also intuition. But then after 1 week in this cellar, the first week was really bad, and I was crying a lot to myself because I didn't want to share my tears with them. And then I decided, because I'm a cultural anthropologist, I started to think, okay, it's the first time a cultural anthropologist is within a group of rebels. Maybe use the time to make it a research. For example, you're here anyway. Try to make the best. Learn Russian. There was lots of things to improve at the end, because I was just stuck in the room. Maybe I could go out. Maybe the room would be smelling better. Maybe I could cook with them. So
really gave yourself like a purpose, or like a goal or something?
Connection with the guys. That was my purpose. If I would connect with them, they could make my life better. So that was really, I let it loose. I didn't have, of course, sometimes I was worried about who's working on my release. Are they professional, or will they screw it up? But I had to block it out of my mind, because I could be worried about it all the time, but I didn't have any influence on it. I had influence on myself, and brush my teeth. Interesting story also. I was worried. After 8 days, I got the first chance to wash myself. Mm-hmm. But I didn't buy a toothpaste and a toothbrush. And I was wondering, shall I ask for a toothpaste? But maybe they how do you call it? They beat me up. They say, yeah, you don't need toothpaste anymore. Yeah. But then I thought, yeah, if I don't brush them, they will also fall out. So I asked, please, do you have toothpaste and a toothbrush? And they said, which brand do you want? I said, the Aquafresh. And they bought it. And they also started using Aquafresh. So it was, yeah, so your self-control is always there, or at least try to regain it back. And, so work on your hygiene, sport, be strong. I had a very nice girlfriend. I thought, when I'm back, I will show up healthy. I have six-pack. I will do push-ups. So these kind of things, maybe I can escape, then I have to run. So, and then slowly it became bigger.
Yeah. That's really interesting, because I'm just putting myself and like trying to imagine, like, I'm like, and if I hear, for example, friends sharing their experience about a Vipassana retreat, yeah, where you're basically spending 10 days in silence, yeah, like inwards focused, and your mind starts like being very active, no, like bringing you like whatever, like experiences, stuff like up, and it might be very confusing at times. And so I'm just like, when I read or like was researching a little bit about you, and I read that I think it was 15 months you spent in this like really like very tiny you call it room, but like but and then like, did you had interaction with people, or was like you left luckily, on yourself? Or
no, so in the beginning there was not much, but every day they had to bring me food, for example. The toilet was outside, so they had to bring me to the toilet, which was really outside the house, so it took 10 meters of walking. It was in the beginning, yeah, and they were also standing behind me, so it was not fun. Normally you're alone on the toilet, but at least there were few moments, so twice a day I could brush my teeth, also outside my room. So, but in the beginning it was just, go to the bathroom, go to the toilet, hurry up. But yeah, slowly, because I behaved safe and secure for them, so I didn't try to escape in the beginning. I told them they always had this mask, so if they forgot, I told them, please put on your mask. And I was polite, and told them to be polite as well. And slowly we build up respect, I think. Not even respect in the beginning, but appreciation that they behaved, I behaved. So we were feeling safer to each other. So slowly, trust was building up. And then I took my moments to, maybe with a bit of luck from their side. One moment I was in the shower, for example, and there was a gun laying there. So I thought, wow, I'm going home. I'm going to shoot all of you. But then I opened the door, and the nicest guard was there. So I felt like, okay, I give you the gun. And he said, why don't you shoot me? I said, yeah, I still hope to go home. And now I show you that you can trust me. So these small steps were also, of course, important. So slowly, it took time. Their leader, I gave them nicknames. So I called the leader General, the smartest one I called Professor, the cook, the best cook I called Cook. So I tried to see them as human beings as well. So then I hope they will feel empathetic for me as well. So that worked quite well. So luckily, the contact became better. But of course, most days were 23.5 hours alone, waiting, being bored, being worried about is someone doing something for me? Will they give up today and then they will kill me? So I was fighting against trying to be in balance every day. And then sometimes, it slipped away, and then I really felt bad, like moments with Christmas, or if videos were made. Later I will show you a video. Then I thought, okay, something is going to happen. I'm going home. It's the last sign that I'm still alive, so they will pay. And then I was like, wow, I'm going home. And then they didn't pay, and almost trying, not trying, but at least thinking of committing suicide or attacking them. So that was really hard to stay stable.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
can't believe
I
that. So
talk easily now, but I understand
yeah,
for you, it's the first time you hear it.
yeah, but like then I mean, like just the psyche is is such an interesting theme or a thing in itself. Like, did you develop then strategies to keep yourself focused on like keeping
Yeah,
faith or hope, or what was this inner? Was
yeah.
there inner like mind game or like incantations or something like that, or like did like I need to be strong or something? Like how did you
It's a
like keep
combination.
your sanity?
Yeah, it's a combination of everything. It's first, I want to go back to my parents. They're waiting for me. I can't give up myself. They will miss me. They will fight for me. So I have to fight for myself as well. Then, of course, I was only 32. I've had a good life, and I thought, yeah, I want to have a new life afterwards. And there's still lots of hope. I think it also helped that I had a nice life before with lots of nice work and lots of nice things I've done in my life. So I had the strength to look back at a good life, and then I virtualized how I would have a nice life again. So that helped. Then what you say, the focus on this is my goal. I want to survive in a good way. So I have to make contact, and this contact I should work on every day. There were 13 guys, and I wanted to have good contact with all of them. And if it didn't work, I had to look at myself. How come it doesn't work yet? So I had to improve my behavior also towards them without losing myself. And then winning. Winning is also, I like winning. I think, yeah, some people say it's about the game, but of course it could be nice about the game, but winning a game is for me also important, and I wanted to win from them, my culture maybe even, or myself winning from those guys. That was also important, and so that's why it's a combination. Yeah, combination of these things. It's focus, winning, caring about other people, not giving up. The bright future again. Yeah.
And then there was this like at some day, like almost 2 years, then they came and said like, no, you're released. Or was this like with any anticipation, or was it like out of the blue, or like how did it happen?
So let me show this clip if you have time.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, please. Yeah,
that was
share
really,
it. Yes.
Really a bit scary, because like you said, I wanted to go home, and I always, most of the time, I thought I'm going to make it. People care about me. Doctors Without Borders is going to pay. But at a certain moment, it took a long time for them. So they made an ultimatum video. I share it with you.
Yeah, please.
I hope there's sound. Wait, let me, because share.
Здравствуйте. Люди, которые меня здесь держат, дали мне еще один шанс, то я с вами поговорю. Я не знаю, если вы можете представлять, как моя жизнь была 10 месяцев. Ну, очень трудно. Ну, может быть, сейчас или все будет хорошо, если вы платите. Если вы не платите, это тоже хорошо. Я больше не могу с вот этой жизнью, поэтому через 10 дней все равно все будет решено, наверное.
Yeah, so that was really one of the worst days, that you really think it's over, and that you really started to wonder, like, who is going to kill me, and how are they going to kill me, and that I even had discussions, please don't cut my throat, but shoot me here. And they said, yeah, but here it's not 100%. I said, yeah, shoot me here. With tears, of course, in my eyes, and not like today. And then they say, yeah, but if you shoot here, it's a very big hole on this side, and then it's not nice for your parents. And that's the first time I broke, because I wanted to know for sure that my parents would find my body, because otherwise for years they would be hoping that they might find me alive, and so that was really bad. I was crying. I had this broken voice, and I told them, please at least put my body next to the side of the road, and even they had to swallow a bit, like, okay, wow, it's so difficult for you. Sorry that we do this, and yeah. But then, yeah.
Yes, I mean,
yeah.
Say again, please.
Luckily, I can smile about it now, because I was standing there with two of the guys, and one of the guys said, yeah, please don't tell these stories, because the other kidnapper will start to cry. And so, yeah, they also felt bad about it. So I think I managed to make myself human in their eyes, but also to make them human in my eyes. And that was really the most important part. Yeah.
So in the sense, you still had some kind of connection.
Yeah. And then your question, how was I released? They said, we have to hand you over to another group. You will stay there for 3 more months. And that was really painful also, because I wanted to stay till the end with the same group. And because I trusted them, I knew how to behave, I knew what to expect. And then they put me in a trunk of a car with nothing. So not a toothbrush, so it could mean I'm going to die. That was also, yeah, so much. I don't know if you had this sweat when you're really afraid.
Mm-hmm.
It smells bad. I was nauseous. I was in the car being shaken around, and then I saw 2 guys without the masks, and they really looked like evil guys that you don't want to meet in the dark. And I thought, they're going to kill me, because they're not afraid to show their faces to me. And they said, yeah, welcome home. I said, what do you mean welcome? Yeah. We freed you, or there was a military operation. I said, I didn't see any military people. Yeah, that's how we call it in Russian. And then they called the Dutch embassy. And then I started to believe I was free, but it was not like, wow. It was lots of suspicion still. I thought maybe they're making fun of me. And then slowly it settled in. It was Easter, which was also very nice. Yeah, how you call it? Symbolic value, the death of Jesus Christ, and he gets resurrected. And I also came from under the ground with a beard, and also felt resurrection. Like I got a second chance in my life. That was really for me, that was really important. And yeah, luckily I got that chance. So that was really very emotional, and yeah, I still remember how I met my mother. She was so happy. I never seen her so happy in her life. I came back from from the airport, the stairs, and she's small. And normally your hands are as long as your height. I don't know if you knew that, but her arms are like 3 meters. And like, wow. And my son is back, and her smile was of complete happiness. That was. And of course, my father and my brothers and my sister, everyone was happy. But walking down the stairs, I even was so happy I kissed the Dutch soil, like the old Pope. And that's how I came back. And then life was easy since then.
Yeah, that's one of the questions I wanted to ask. Like, since then, nothing might, like, is there still something which can stress you, or is just everything a gift after this experience?
Gift for sure. I'm not always on the pink cloud, or how you say it in English, but I can relativate easily life. I know I have all kind of powers that I might put on, that I can switch on, like patience, like perseverance, like talking to people, binding with people. So I know, I manage. So I'm much more like an entrepreneur now. I see chances, I go for them. Sometimes it doesn't work, but then I'm also not disappointed, because I can find something new. So this I don't know if it's happiness, but it's just life became much more easy, for sure. Of course, I have to do it myself. No one comes to bring me the keys of my house or the keys of my car, but I have this feeling, yeah, I manage. So, and that really gives rest. I don't have to. Some people, they have to drive in Porsches. They have to show the world how great they are. But I know for myself, I can win. I don't have to show that to other people. I know it for myself, and that's really gives me balance and strength from within. Yeah. But do you understand? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like what I like put myself like the image I have in my mind, like if you experienced this spectrum of experience or maybe emotions or like difficulty, and then you're coming back to this like it's nothing, yeah. And for someone who has been always there, this is everything, and it's life and death, even though it's not really.
Yeah. But I can still be emotional. I'm worried about my children. I have 3 children now. When I'm in a traffic jam, I can be irritated. So I'm human also. And luckily, of course, I went to a mental coach about this, and he said it would be nice if you can be angry at the supermarket, like an old lady who doesn't hurry up. And I got that again.
I mean, like I got to know you now, and I see you laughing. I see you talking about these experiences with a positivity. And was it difficult to come back after these 2 years into like normal life, or integrate the experience, or was it just like?
No, not really difficult but I don't know if difficulty is the right word. Of course, I had to find structure again because. It sounds funny, but my mental coach said you had a sabbatical for 20 months. And now, because I was really famous in Holland, and everyone wanted to wish me the best. So I got, really at that time, we had thousands of postcards, even postcards without an address. So people really cared about me, like, finally he's free again. And I got so many presents from holiday houses in Spain, in Belgium. All kind of TV programs took me all over the world. So that helped me feeling appreciated again. Because sometimes I felt left out. The worst moments during my kidnapping was like, why don't people do something for me? Do they forget about me, or do they do it on purpose? So that really, that hurt me so much. Of course it was in my mind, but still you can hurt your own mind. And then my mental coach said, you have to let other people take care of you. Don't care for them. Let them take care of you in the beginning. So that helped. I started writing a book with a ghostwriter because I thought I'm not a writer. But then his book was not the book I wanted to be. And then I thought, why shouldn't I write it myself? I'm free now. And why should I limit myself in my brain thinking I'm not a writer? And that's when I started to give lectures as well, and about how we limit ourselves not to use our potential. And of course, if you give lectures about that, you also have to give the good example. So that's how it started, that my power came from within. And my message is don't make yourself a hostage of your own feelings, but also not about what other people think about you. And don't make yourself a hostage if you want to achieve something that you don't do enough for it, because sometimes we're lazy, sometimes we find excuses. So that's my message. If you want something, you have to fight, and if you want to break something, you need courage to break out of your old patterns. So basically that's where my motivational speaking is about.
It's super interesting. What I also just like this self-awareness to understand that what your mind makes you believe, like nobody cares about me, like this itself is like incredible to have this like detachment from. I can just imagine, like in this situation, the mind must like shoot you with crazy thoughts and emotions. And
for me, it was to attack them, to stay stable, and to stay. To win from the emotions, or at least to turn the emotions away from the bad things. Because of course I was sad, I allowed myself to be sad. Sometimes I felt like a victim, or feel pity for myself, like no one cares about me. That's self-pity. And it helps a bit, but it doesn't change your situation. So then I had to fight the emotion. No, you have to fight. There's lots of things to improve. Cry a bit, but then be strong again. And I think lots of people, if I can do it, lots of people can do that. But we have to have the power maybe, or the motivation from ourselves to think, okay, feel bad, allowed to feel bad, but then it's time to move on. And yeah, I think it helps to think of what happens if I stay sad or if I don't move. Yeah, so yeah, of course it's good to slow down, but then after slowing down you have to speed up and maybe accelerate again. And yeah, it's difficult, but yeah, I had so many examples that it worked there, and then it works in normal life also, of course. And normal life is easier.
I can imagine, like, compared to this one. And was writing and was sharing about your experiences also a way of processing the situation? Like,
yeah, I think it helped, but it was not on medical, I call it, that the medical people told me to do so. But I think, what I think is that if you share your bad stories with other people, they can at least react to it. And some people, they don't want to share it, but then how can you get support? So because lots of people knew in Holland, they could react. Even simple in the bar, they said, you lost 20 kilograms. Do you want a free beer? I don't know if you've been to the Netherlands, the bitter balls. Yeah, so take a portion of bitter balls. So I think instead of not sharing your vulnerability, you should also allow yourself to be vulnerable at sometimes. To be vulnerable is also giving you freedom, I believe.
Okay, that's really that's huge. I mean, from my experience, but then also like from the people I'm surrounded, we tend to not want to show our dark side or like what's not perfect. So we like walk around with this persona or identity, like to pretend to be a certain way.
Yeah.
But then we can also be a hostage of that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have real friends, they can also appreciate your dark sides. Yeah, you don't have to share all your details, but if you divorce or you lost your job or you lost your mother, it's normal to feel bad about it. Everyone knows, so why not sharing it? Because then they can give you a hand on your shoulder, or they can cook for you, or whatever. But if you don't tell them, yeah, how can they help? I think lots of people are very helpful. That's what I learned. Even the kidnappers became helpful. So why shouldn't friends be helpful, or family members?
That's interesting.
And also in your mind, you feel more free because you feel more yourself. Like you said, you pretend you're the Mr. Perfect. It's a part of you is pretending. It's always, I don't know, in the Netherlands, we always talk about how much money you gain on the stock exchange. It's never, I lost 100,000 euro, because then you're not cool. Or I took the way to southern France and it took me 10 hours. It's never, I was in the traffic jam for 15 hours. So why not? Yeah. What
I mean, on a larger scale, that was also my revelations, and I found it so freeing, to just, like, I don't need to be perfect. I can be open about my flaws, and like, it doesn't matter. It just liberates me and and like makes more energy accessible. Is it for you like still enjoyable to talk about your story? Because I can imagine you have talked so many times already about it.
I think it's. The meaning is still there to that's the message behind it. It's not because I want to be on the stage and I want to have a big applause. It's nice. Otherwise I wouldn't choose for this job. But that some people, that I can be a change for some people, that they make the next step a bit earlier than if they would not have seen me. That's really cool. Today I had a lecture for schools, and then some of the students came like, because of you, I know for sure I will make the next step and I'll start to be a soldier. And if that's their wish and I could help them. Another one said, I didn't want to go away from my mother because my father died. And I'm going to live on my own. So these are those small steps that they see maybe their energy again, or their fighting power. And then I think that's cool, but also like the Rolling Stones, they sing already, I can get no satisfaction for for 50 years, and I hope they like it, but at least when I listen to them, it sounds like they like it. And I come to places all over the world in amazing places sometimes, schools, in jails, in nice castles. So that is also part of it, of course. So I can travel. I don't have to work every day because, of course, one day I can earn a nice amount. So it creates freedom and rest in my mind to do other things as well. Yeah.
And yeah, you mentioned already you're giving workshops, you're working as a coach. Like, what are the main, like, if you will call them, like, principles or like lessons you are passing on? Like if you.
Yeah, no. So this freedom of mind, that you should really follow it and really be honest towards yourself. Like, what is blocking you from the next step? Is it lack of power? Is it lack of energy? Is it because you're afraid? Is it because what other people might think about you? So be honest to it. Then also the connection, how to connect with other people so they could help you, like sharing the energy, the synergy all together. Also about caring of other people. And like you said, I'm starting. I started Free a Girl, but sometimes we lose the people behind us or people in worse situations. So you always have the task, that's what I believe, to look after other people as well. Because if you give, you will get also. So yeah, these 3-4 steps, but also in how to break the system is also courage. And then I had to box with one of the guys, and I was really, really scared. And first you think always on the bad things. He will.
But you were boxing with him?
Yeah. They wanted me to box with them, and then with their leader.
Like to train, or like?
Like real boxing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. I also see your face. I also no. I don't want to. Because I boxed in Holland, and they want to like the machoism, who is the best fighter. And then you start thinking, I lose. I will lose my reputation. Maybe they shoot me because they think I will escape. No, then I'm not going to fight. So you don't want to move. But then you realize, am I afraid or am I a coward? It's two different things to me. Because if you call yourself, I'm afraid, you accept that you can be afraid. But if you're a coward, you make it negative. You don't want to be a coward, I think. So then I thought, okay, what can I win? I can win my reputation. The same things. I can be stronger in the group. But then still, maybe the other guy loses his reputation among his friends. So there's always this, lots of people, there's two voices on your shoulders. And then I thought, yeah, I want to be the winner. I want to improve my situation. So you have to fight. And then outside, I was still a bit wondering, shall I beat him first? But then, no, I was trying to escape. But then he hit me. So, wow, the stars on my, in Holland you say you've seen the stars. And then I started also hitting him, and I really hit him. And he said, yeah, you've shown that you can box. Please go back to your room. And he came to my room with a mirror. And he said, yeah, I want to show you that I really hit you. And I had a black eye. But then he did something nice. He put away his mask. And he said, yeah, you hit me also. And so he had a bit black eye, less than I had. But he was showing it to me. And that I also appreciated. He was not too big not to show it. And then, yeah. And I felt, of course, much better because I went for the challenge instead of walking away. So sometimes you have to go for the challenge, and then you grow. And if you lose, then you fall back to the same position you already had. You don't feel big. Some people always think you fall much more. So these are some kind of the lessons. It's like see other things. Other people see completely different things, and that's also fine. And because I cannot, of course, I have my things I want to share, but other people's might take other messages, which is also good.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I know a big topic or like big theme is to like freedom, right, for you?
Yeah.
And
because I think freedom is really the catalyst of change, of creation, right? Because you can think about something, you can have the nicest idea in your head, like the iPhone. I have the iPhone in my head. But if you're afraid to step towards someone who can produce it, the iPhone will never have come. If you have a nice book, I have a nice book, it's in my mind, but now it's a book. It's the same with everything. So you need to put it into action for sure. And then you have to have the freedom to think, no, I'm a bad writer, I'm not going to write. No, my iPhone, we need the old phone. So the freedom of coming out with your ideas from thinking towards action, I think, but also freedom of traveling, freedom of religion, freedom of all kind of things, financial freedom. It's the engine. That's what I believe, the fire of everything. And other people might think, love is the fire, or I don't know, green energy is the fire. But
I love it, freedom. And was that also like which led you to free a girl? Like,
sure.
How did that start? How did you come up with that idea, or how did it emerge? And
I met a guy. I was working on my own TV station together with other people, and we needed video content. And then there was a guy. He came. He said, "I have so much nice content about my organization that frees minor girls from sexual prostitution." And he told me a story about how those children are abused, how they were being hidden in behind walls, and they were kidnapped as well. And of course, I had to. And they were working in most of the time in basements, also in just small rooms as big as a mattress, because there the action should be done. And then I thought, when I was kidnapped, I was every day, I hoped that someone was getting me out of there. And I want to go back to my family. And those girls also need someone who gets them out of there. And this guy, he's helping them. And I want to join him. And I had friends, and together we helped him. We started this organization. That's how the guy left at the end because he misbehaved. So we started a new organization, and that's how Free a Girl started. And it's millions of girls and sometimes also boys are kidnapped or taken under false assumptions towards schools or to work in rich families, people's home, but then they're actually taken to brothels, nowadays also to hotels, and then no one cares because the government doesn't do enough, family doesn't know where they are, and then we already made more than 4,700 people to be released, to go back to their family, to start a new life. And that's my mission for them. They also deserve a second chance. No one deserves it, especially children. They are harmless. How can you end up trafficking children into prostitution? That's something which I strongly want to fight for. And I hope your listeners or the viewers now also, they go to freeagirl.nl and they support us.
We will add all the resources and links to the show notes so that everybody can get all information and check it out. And I knew about it before, but also like preparation for this call, I watched a couple of videos and read about what you're doing, and it's really amazing. And it's also an incredible, horrifying situation, which maybe here in the Western world with the media and information we're exposed to, we're not really present of it. And
it's hidden in a way. That's also difficult to find big donors, because it's not something that you want to show as a big company, like I'm fighting prostitution, but actually everyone wants to fight sexual exploitation. But it's easier to say I'm fighting against cancer or fighting against the poverty, because it's more, how you call it? It's easier to show. Do you understand? It's not related to really the worst dirty thing in the world, abusing children. It's not something that you say as a big company, I'm fighting against this. So that's sometimes difficult. But I think deep in our hearts, we know we have to fight it.
I mean, I completely agree, and I love to support you. And what I read is that I think your foundation is mainly dedicated or working in India, Bangladesh, and Nepal. So,
yeah, but also we have programs in Brazil, in Holland itself, because even in the West we have we call it the lover boys, but also it's also prostitution. In Iraq with the Yazidi, who are lots of the genocide by ISIS. So yeah, but we started in India, and the problem is the biggest in India because it's such a big country. So the numbers are the biggest, and the injustice, because there's not so many traffickers being brought to court. So yeah, the system is still in place. That's why we started, for example, the School for Justice in India, which is really great. The girls who are smart enough and old enough and who are willing to go to school, they go to law school, and they will be the new attorneys and maybe the new even the lawyers who will, or the judges even, who will fight the trafficking, and then they will enter circle, and they will stand up and also have to. They want to be the people who do the advocacy, so that the culture might also change. That's also cool, and that the way the public opinion might change, because that's also important. The public opinion should change and think like we are not going to harm those girls anymore.
Yeah, I read that 1.2 million children are in prostitution in those areas. It was it's incredible, and then I also read that there are just 50 court cases or so
in a year.
And I was just scratch, and when I read it, I had tears in my eyes. Oh my, yeah. And
the most beautiful thing is if the girls go back to their family, and the mothers and the fathers see them again, the reuniting thing. And sometimes they don't believe that if we take them out together with the police, they're afraid that they go again to another place. And sometimes they want to stay at the old place because it feels even safe. Can you imagine? It feels safe where they work, and they don't want to be transferred to another place. And then maybe it's even how I felt. I didn't believe I'm free, but then suddenly they are free and no one attacks them anymore, and they can do children things like playing hide and seek, or going to karate, or just learn how to be a hairdresser. So we don't have to make them all superheroes, but they are heroes even at home if they are a hairdresser or have nail polishing, because that's a big change.
Well, what I also know that you're kind of looking at the whole chain of dealing with the situation. You're rescuing them, but then also you're rehabilitating them and reintegrating them. You mentioned the School for Justice, which is an amazing program, but then you're also dedicated in terms of prevention and
on the borders with Nepal, for example, we at the custom places. Then we have young girls who are freed and know that they were taken from Nepal to India, for example. They also go into the buses, and then if they see a young girl with an older guy, they ask, "What is your relation? Can you see the passports, please?" Because then the custom people they will take them out. So, but also at schools, so don't go with strangers who make nice promises. So these kind of things, it's. Because there's so much poverty, people, families and girls think, I want to work for a rich family, but of course, that might end up completely the wrong way. People believe nice stories, and that's also a pity. People always want to see, their life improving, but sometimes, the stories are just lies. And, that's the sad thing. There's always bad people outside.
And if someone listens to this and wants to help or support you, what would be a way to do that?
Yeah, of course, donations is the easiest, but also to spread the word that it still happens. That we cannot let this big thing happen. Like, why don't the government in India or in Nepal or in Bangladesh puts its maybe not number one, but at least in the top 10 to fight it? And why don't we tell their governments you should do something about it? So attention, also the social media, maybe documentaries, these kind of things are also very important. But also sometimes at schools, just new computers, and then not your Windows 95 from a long time ago, but also up-to-date things that can help. How you call it? Juridical advice, these kind of things. And so look at what you do as your job, and is that something that you can help with? That will, yeah, campaigns. Come up with a nice new campaign. Maybe an article if you're editor of a newspaper. So these kind of things that also help. Or if you have a budget for advertisement, that we can put a nice advertisement on your TV or in your magazine. These kind of things. It's not always money, but also that people know the message.
Okay, like dear listeners, whoever listens to us, like please join, please share, please get involved. And I know that you're also about to release your new book. Do you want to talk and share a little bit about like what is this about?
Almost finished. Yeah. I hope it's my breakthrough in the United States. It's called Held Hostage. The website is on the process, but it's I think it's already alive. It's heldhostagebook.com. But you can also go to my website and send a message and say you're interested. It's maybe you will show it later, isn't it?
Yeah, we will add all the links, all the resources to this episode. So yes.
Because I think also in the United States, the message about freedom, how to deal with your past over there, and also with COVID, it's also how to deal with this kind of restrictions. Because happiness is really starting from inside, but you see that lots of people lose energy now, lose motivation, they lose contact with their job. And my lectures are also up to date with this topic. And if you have speaking opportunities and you think, hey, this guy has an interesting story, please contact me also at arjanerkel.nl, but you will see. And part of it I will donate to Free a Girl. So that's definitely, I think, I don't know, you should be my ambassador, not myself, Simon.
No, absolutely. I will spread the word, and I will make sure like as many people as possible will get this information. And thank you, Arjan. It has been incredible. Love what you're doing. Support you in your commitment in spreading freedom, empower more people. And as mentioned, we will add all the resources to the show notes of this episode, and also your details to get in contact with you and follow you on social media. And
if you put all the things, it will help me, and it will help the cause for Free a Girl for sure. Thank you, Simon, for your interview.
Yeah, thank you very much for who you are, like your enthusiasm, your positivity, and taking the time to share your story, experience, wisdom here. And thank you very much. It's an honor.
Yeah. Okay.